Hey guys, Max15 bringing you guys back another episode of Boom Beach Push into the leaderboards. I just kind of finished clearing my map. You can see my statues. I only have 5 minutes left, so I've been playing for 2 hours and 55 minutes just about, which is quite a long time. I'm gonna say again, I am really, utterly loving this. The 90% off in all troops is just amazing. It really lets me, just experiment with troop compositions that I would have never thought of. Not like I'm trying anything too radical, but I am using different troops for bases that I ordinarily would have used another kind of troop. So the 90% really helps, and I mean it just doesn't hurt at all. To spend diamonds retraining your troops when you do lose. So I wish this was like a more often kind of thing. But anyways, I just had to get it out there. I mean, I really do love that. Tonight, I'm already at 1,536 victory points. My map is pretty clear. The only base left is my friend Danger here from the Pretender. So in keeping in that with all my other friends from all the other task forces, I am not going to attack him. I did draw, of course, a happy face with smoke, as I always do. But, out of respect, because I know he's pushing, I'm just going to let him sit there and I'll just refresh him tomorrow. I'm happy with 1,536 victory points. So, that's fine. As far as global leaderboard, let's see where I'm sitting at. 32. So we're a couple on 48 to get into the top 30. But, we're getting there. A couple of victory points here and there. Today I did get rated a couple of times. I think 3 times overall. So, so there were 3 rates on my base here. So, could have been better. But anyhow, let's get into some of these attacks. Some of these were actually really good, so I wanted to show you. After this last update, I don't know, I probably did update, but after it, the activity log is actually really short. Back then, if I didn't log off, I could actually, have a replay saved up from, I could save up maybe 50 or 60 replays. Now it looks like it's only about 20 or so, which is kind of disappointing. So now that means that I have to really start recording and then keep on playing. Otherwise, I'm going to lose all the replays. So I didn't realize that until just now. So anyhow, let's get into it. MJM unit Hasir. Just went in. Heavy-Zooka. This is 4 ice statues, masterpieces boosted. This was actually a pretty easy base. It only took me 1 try, I think. I am going, of course, with my 4 offensive statues, all 4 of them boosted. You can probably see it from the stats. So I blasted down one of the shot launchers on the left side. I was going to attack the base from the back. So I took down the 1 shot launcher, put 3 bolts of heavies in the front, all the Zookas behind them, and then the last bolt of heavies to protect them on the side, and then smoke them nice and gently all the way to the back. I don't know why I say gently. It just didn't make sense. But nice and tidy. Smoked them. I mean, a couple of heavies kind of stepped out of the smoke for a split second there. They did get rained on by the rocket launcher, but it didn't matter. We're just going to keep on smoking. 2 last smokes towards the very end, right next to the radar. There was a little open gap right there where the shock blaster is, shooting at the Zookas, but surprisingly, one shot doesn't kill them. Reflare because the first one just ran out. Then we're going to flare straight to the vault, throw some critters, and then just let the Zooka start working on all those defenses. There were a lot of good economy buildings in the back there, so I was able to get a pretty good amount of gunboat energy back. I threw some critters, mainly to distract the shot launcher. Yes, the shot launcher. I had all of my Zookas still living at this point. I probably lost a handful of heavies to those boom cannons, but the Zookas are the ones that matter. Once my heavy started turning a little bit red, maybe we can zoom out so you guys can see. Some of these Zookas are really straying off down here. But anyways, they really did spread out, which I didn't like, and it left the entire right side here exposed. So I had to throw some critters to try to distract the shot launcher, and right on the nick of time, that thing actually did turn, but then eventually it did turn back to my Zooka. So that's why I had to reflare straight to the HQ and hope for the best. I only had 2 heavies left. And then that 1 shot launcher got my Zookas there. I thought I was going to lose it, but then right there, I did lose all my troops. 100% of my troops died, but I got the HQ in the very last shot. So, that was a really lucky, really good attack. Oh man, I think I lost the attack before. The attack before that one, I think, was a really good one. Anyhow, after that, I kind of took care of Dr. T stage 6 and 7. Notice how I took down Dr. T stage 6 with warriors, and I didn't lose a single warrior. That was pretty crazy. Would you guys care to watch that? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe some of you would like to see how I take down Dr. T. I always use warriors for Dr. T Island because they just really work. I blasted some of the mines around the HQ and then put the warriors down there. Since I have my gunboat energy boosted, I throw 2 smokes, pre-smoke the beach. If I'm playing unboosted, I don't use smokes. I don't pre-smoke like that. They did walk in a really funky pattern there. Really not my best warrior showmanship here. But anyhow, as the smoke was about to run out, I threw a medkit, then some critters, and 2 shocks right around the shot launchers and the machine gun. And the critters actually did a really good job distracting the 2 mortars on the left side of the beat, on the left side of the HQ. So to my surprise, you know, I made a lot of mistakes, and now watching the replay for the first time, I'm realizing there were a lot of flaws in that attack, but hey, whatever, it worked, and that base went down without a single casualty, so I'm gonna call that a good win. Anyways, Ken K's base. This base I took down yesterday. You probably saw it in the previous video if you did watch that. On yesterday's video, he only had 3 ice statues, and I took him down with RZM. This time, he put down a 4th ice, maybe because, you know, he got raided a lot. So, Ken, if you're just going to add 1 extra guardian, it's not going to make much of a difference. You know, people will still raid you anyways. Anyhow, this time, this is one of those examples when I was saying I'm going to try a different troop composition. Even though I used RZM yesterday, this time I decided to try Heavy-Zooka. And I tried to smoke on the left side, mainly because all 3 rocket launchers were still pretty out of range at this point. See how this one is all the way by the HQ. So I smoked. I think it did take me a couple of tries just to kind of, you know, get the troops right exactly where I needed them to be. But, you know, it did work out. So I'm just happy about that. So once they started walking out of the smoke, you know, the heavy started protecting the Zookas. I did throw some critters to distract some of those defenses. And right there you'll see 1 shock, which is really well placed because I was able to shock the shock blaster, shot launcher, and the boom cannon all together. So that was 1 really well spent shot. Then the Zooka started spreading out a little too much for my liking, and that 1 rocket launcher did take down a couple of them, but you know what, I couldn't really do much. I did reflare and throw a smoke. Once the shield went down, of course, that's when I did the reflare. And then I flared close to the HQ and started throwing the smokes and started walking them carefully. I really do wish that you guys could see the icons of how much gunboat energy I have and which gunboat abilities I'm tapping. Unfortunately, you can't see that on replays, but I wish Supercell did brought that over. Anyways, flare to the HQ, throw some critters, and then a shock. Notice how that shot missed the shot launcher on the left side, and it did shoot and kill some of my Zookas. So I was forced to throw a 2nd shot, which was kind of a waste of gunboat energy, but the Zookas had enough firepower to take down the HQ, so that was actually really good. I thought that was a great attack when you go all the way up from the left and then re-smoke again. I learned that from watching some of the top players on YouTube in the past. I forgot from who, but definitely from a top player. So that was Ken K down for the 2nd time on a 2nd day, so feel bad for him, but anyways, we need to keep pushing. Next base here, Heavy-Zooka again. This was probably the best raid of the night. This was a 6 ice statues, all of them boosted. A very unconventional base layout with the shock blaster in front of the HQ and the shield kind of awkwardly on the left side up there. So I put down the heavies and the Zookas on the left side, let them take down that 1 sniper tower to get the 3 extra gunboat energy. You know, why not? And then smoke them right next to that residence. The first few tries I smoked next to the shield, and then I got all my troops killed. So after trial and error, I found out that smoking next to that residence was the best place to put my troops. So right there, a couple of the heavies kind of stepped out because they're kind of dumb. But anyways, no need to panic. Re-flare and then flare straight to the residence. Throw some critters to distract those boom cannons and the shot launcher, and then just let the troops kind of just fan out, take down. The good thing is that the Zookas have pretty good range, so they were able to take down that shield very quickly, and they weren't stupid enough to walk into the range of that flamethrower right there. So anyhow, once I got enough buildings, flare next to the HQ again and throw 2 smokes. Keep in mind, this base has 6 boosted ice statues, so it's quite a lot of boost. And then, as the smoke was about to clear, flare to the HQ, throw some critters, and throw 2 shocks right on the nick of time, because that 1 rocket launcher in the top did take 1 shot on my Zooka, so I needed every one of my Zookas shooting. Look at how swiftly that HQ went down. That was actually a really good attack. I mean, Whenever I can take down 6 boosted ice, I love it. And funny enough, this base I took down on a handful of tries, whereas there was another base with only 3 ice statues, and it took me like 15 tries to beat him. So just crazy, you know, how things work out. Was it this base? No. This was the last base of the night. This base, same guy from yesterday again. He spawned on my map again. I beat him yesterday. Today I was trying to do TRM because it was a center base with a what do you call that? The laser beam. But I kept on losing, or I kept running out of time. So TRM really just didn't work out. So I decided to just go RZCM again, just like yesterday. But I didn't use the same strategy from yesterday. Go ahead and watch the previous video if you haven't done so you can see the difference in the 2 attacks. But this time I actually figured, again, through trial and error, that going from the left side instead of going dead center was actually a better option. So, and once I did that, I got him on the second try. So anyways, I kind of messed up a little bit. Some of my troops walked out of the smoke, and that flamethrower kind of just burned a few of my rifles. But anyways, had to just keep on going. What else did I change? Oh, I did go in with 3 boats of Zookas and only 1 boat of Medic for this particular attack, because I wanted to have a little bit more firepower. Because by the time I got towards the end of the raid, I only had a small handful of Zookas left, so I needed just a couple more. So anyways, let the troops spread out. Remember not to flare if possible, so all these defenses could be distracted. I was lucky enough to shock the shot launcher and the laser beam together, so that really worked out very well for me. And thank God he had those 2 mortars right kissing on the HQ, so I was able to shock the 2 mortars and the laser beam all with 1 shock. So once I did that, I flared straight to the laser beam. I had to take that thing out of commission as quick as possible, and then the troops would naturally fan out again towards the boom cannons and the last mortar. Right after that, I was hesitating. I didn't know what to do, but I was thinking, you know what, just flare straight. That was a mistake. That was supposed to be a flare, and I threw a med kit actually. So that was actually a pretty bad mistake. Thank God I was still able to win despite that. So threw the flare, took down the boom cannon, and then had to flare back down. And to my surprise, I actually had a good amount of Zookas, more than yesterday. Yesterday I ended up having 7 Zookas only when I was taking down the HQ. So this time I had a lot more. I don't know how many, but probably over 10. But yeah, this particular attack was much better than the one from yesterday. I think yesterday I kind of got a little bit lucky. So anyhow, but that HQ actually went down really quickly. And it was actually easier than yesterday too, so I was pretty happy about that. That also brought me up to 1,536 victory points, which was pretty sweet. Threw a smoke to celebrate, and you know, it's funny how I spawned twice the 2 guys from yesterday. I just find it a little unusual. But yeah, that's just about it. My map looks pretty clear. I'm going to try to play again tomorrow morning if possible. I want to try to make the most out of this 90% off all troops. So yeah. How long is it? Wow, this is going to be a really short video. Man, I may as well show you guys Dr. T Stage 7. I do apologize for not having the other replays. I mean, I didn't know that with this new update I was going to lose a lot of them. So anyways. So this was Dr. T Stage 7. I used warriors again, of course. Had to throw a barrage right in the middle there because there were like 15,000 mines in there. And then I threw 1 more artillery shell right on that cluster of 4 mines. And since I have my gunboat energy boosted, I was just like, whatever, I'm just going to throw... let's take down that boom cannon over there too. So again, 2 smokes to... 2 pre-smoke the beach with 2 smokes. Put down all the warriors. Man, my voice is cracking right there. And then just smoked them carefully. Notice how this time I smoked a lot more careful, and I went to the sniper tower first, just so that they wouldn't walk around too messy. And then, as always, once the smoke clears, throw some critters, and then 2 shocks. And I mean, it wasn't going to be hard at all because my troops are boosted. Again, I'm fully boosted with my 4 offensive statues, so you know, my troops were really overpowered for this type of base. Come on, just a little bit more. Right there. I did lose, I think, 13 warriors or so, but who cares? You know, I needed the crystal. I mainly did it for the crystal. And I think I also got 1... no, yeah, just 1 crystal and 2 little fragments. So yeah, that's about it. I think we're gonna cut this video really short. I mean, oh, there's 1 more base here, James Bong. All right, I'll deal with him in a little bit, and my pal Danger in here. All right, so we're gonna keep this video short because yesterday's video was actually really long. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. And I guess that's it, guys. I'm gonna call it a night. I'll keep on playing tomorrow, and I'll see you guys next time. Okay? Until then, I'm Max 2015. I'm so tired. It's so late at night. Man, it's 3 a.m. already. Jeez. All right, guys. Have a good night. I'll see you guys next time. Okay? Bye.